You're just not used to being out, are you? You got to yell at everything. And you too, Bob. Okay. All right. There we are.
There we go. Looks like we're live.
How about you?
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are live from
Hello.
the aviary.
Are you
Yeah,
trying to say?
today it's a great day for the vlog. And we have finally our Babaloo bag.
Babaloo.
I think a lot of people will be so happy to see you.
Yeah. He looks so much happier outside. He still has a wild look, but it's not a crazy look.
Yeah, it's just a better environment for him.
Yeah. He'll always be wild, but it's more healthy wild rather than crazed psycho wild.
Mhm.
He likes looking around at what's going on in the world, and when he's confined to a room, it doesn't work that way. Maybe
Mhm.
Yeah.
if I had fake screen, these big plasma screens that the rich people can have on their walls, and it made it look like we were outside, that might work for him. But if he had some place to hang and look outside.
Mhm. So let's greet some of our chatters. The first of everybody in chat was today Lisa Banerjee. So hello, Lisa. Good to see you.
Hello.
So
Shortly afterwards, Jocelyn dropped in. So hello, Jocelyn. She says she's glad to see you out, Don, and the birds. We are happy to see you here, Jocelyn. And then we have
Hello.
Colin Thurston here, who is happy to have a Babaloo outside and finally back on the live stream.
Yeah. Hi, Calvin.
And just dropped Falconzoo in. So hello, Falconzoo, who's also happy to see the birds outside.
Hello. Everybody is so much calmer and more relaxed and happy when they're outside.
hey,
It's great to see.
hey, hey! I go on my shoe. Diesel, stop! He really had a hold of my shoe. Hi, I'm Mandarin. I'm
When I said
Mandarin.
calmer and more relaxed, I didn't mean that they don't attack shoes anymore.
Oh no, I knew that. Yeah, I know. This one has to lean all the way down right into my face. That's how it gets my attention. And
Hmm. Oh, that was a tail flash right into Amanda's face.
hi, Jasmine.
And Rosebud is here. Welcome, Rosebud. And she wants to know if the bucket boys are out.
Only one. I have to have two hands when KK's out here because he does still tend to go after the pink birds. So I had to grab him yesterday, and can't be holding onto a phone when I'm trying to corral him because he gets all excited and his head's going back and forth like he's going to rip me apart, and then I just calm him down and pick him up and take him out. So he'll figure it out. He does pretty good, but out here he still has an issue of chasing him down. He stopped doing that inside. You have to get within about a foot of him to really set him off. Bob, what are you doing?
And welcome to Jem and Jamie, who is also here.
Hello. Welcome to the first aviary time of the season.
Yeah, behaviors are considerably different out here. So
Absolutely.
We can look at that wide open desert sky.
Hmm.
It's beautiful.
what Mander? What Mander?
Yeah, we are happy to have you, Mander.
Oh, he likes to come out here. It's rare for him to say no if he sees me taking birds outside. So inside's different, but out here he kind of knows how to protect himself,
Hmm.
don't you? He doesn't get bothered much out here. Usually, if he does, it's going to be by his aunties. They don't have much toleration for him. Oops. Yeah, I said switch. Thank you. What's up, Jazz? Hmm? See, this will not happen if KK was out here. I mean, she's not going to come down and get on my lap. KK's in my lap, but he'll be out later. He'll get his 2 hours along with Pause and Pippa. That'll be fun. I might need more than one towel in that situation. I don't know who this guy is. Who is this guy? Hmm? He's a big old nut, aren't you? Aren't you?
Look at them all.
Yeah.
Such cuties.
You kind of wonder what your lap is, what your lap actually is when you're covered with a bunch of cockatoos.
Mm.
No concept of personal space.
I know.
Well, it's good to see them back and see Babaloo preening his friend Cecil and Lorelei. And Jasmine sticking her head into the puddle. So she gets maybe preened.
She's not bashful, that's for sure.
Hey, Bob.
She was sure doing the scene from Monty Python. Now she was run away, run away. As KK got fired up, and I had to separate them. I didn't have to tell him though. I try not to, so I just used my hands and feet and got him to stop snipping at me. And then when he calmed down a bit, I moved him, and he got fired up a little bit. So I sat him down and used my feet to corral him gently, and then got him back with my hands and took him back inside so he could calm down.
Oh, Jasmine. You made Lorelei fly away.
Yeah, you're pretty insistent about being preened, aren't you, kid? Ella preening is her thing. Well, preening is her thing. Ella preening not so much. At least if it's on her end.
Mm.
Jasmine, you're supposed to preen back. Hey, Bob. He's just out here. It's a different environment, and he's just not aggressive. Oh, I mean, he may occasionally show a little territoriality, but usually he'll come up and like nip at my arm or something. But he hasn't done that. This is his second day out, so once he gets used to being outside, he'll occasionally try to get my attention if I'm petting another bird or something. But hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah, I know. Go find Bob. See if he'll bring you. Be nice, Bob. Be nice. All right, come here. No, no, get away from him. Go on, get away from him. If you had common sense, well, common sense isn't common, but when he gets that look on his face, you have to get away from him. Where'd you go? You have to watch Cecil because he's developed a little bit of that mate aggression, and he'll start pulling, shredding her feathers. So keep an eye on him.
Was that Babalu doing the sprint?
Yeah,
Huh, Babalu, you can run.
he's such a character.
Bob, you have so much energy. Don't know where to put it.
Hey, he didn't do anything to you. What are you freaking out about? Don't freak out. Jasmine acted like he'd bit her on the tail or something when he was nowhere near her. So you must have seen that look on his face. I know that look.
Mhm.
You haven't figured it out yet. Maybe in hindsight, but not when it's happening. And you're trying to cover me up with those feathers? You think I'm cold or something? What's going on here? There's no way you would see Bob Alou acting like this inside the house. He just doesn't do it. But out here, he's pretty well behaved. Yeah, he's got his moments, but don't we all? Now what, Sugar? Hi, Shug.
Mhm. Shook, shook,
Hello,
shook.
Sugar Bird. Hmm. Never would have guessed that's what you want. Never would have guessed that. You're not making it easy, though. You're putting a rope between me and your beak. That doesn't work so well. And are you hiding or what?
The Mando shuffle.
Hey, Mander, Bob, don't look at him that way. Just a mander.
Just the mander, yeah.
Sorry, Mander. I can only give you. I have to go back and forth, or I'm gonna have a upset sugar bird. Right, Bob? You big nut. Right, you see the effect of a change of environment on him too. You want to come down here? All right, I got to be careful with Bob. Then Bob has a thing about him too. All right. Hello, Mander. Hey, big boy.
Okay.
Whine at me? Are you still whining at me? Are you?
Ooh. Is she whiny?
Bob, be nice. Yeah, quietly. A little like you were petting me 1st. Mhm. Yes, Mander. I know if I stop petting you, you want to go away. I know that. I see. So
Don't pet the mander, pet the sugar. It's like she's telling you petting the wrong pink bird, like you
Mm.
cannot defer.
But everybody needs pets. That includes
hey,
the
man.
mander because he's such a good big boy.
What? You want to get that face all fluffed up at me, huh? I know. I know. Look at his face. You're not petting me. You're not petting me. You're not petting me. You look shocked. Shocked. Shocked to find out there's gambling going on here. You're winning, sir? Yeah.
Gambling in Vegas.
Mm.
That was more like a town called Casablanca. Where is Claude Rains when you need him? Hmm? You like to pretend you're invisible sometimes. You know, don't you? Yeah, inside, if you take your hand away for just 10 seconds, he'll be gone. Out here, he'll wait. He'll wait a while to get petted. Even a slight change in environment can make a difference. Romeo's gotten a lot more busy now that I put a box in there for him to play in, and he's chewing wood and he's playing, and just a box, cardboard box for him to play in. Just a motorcycle, Mom.
Mhm.
It's better than when they've got all diesels over there. When they start firing those things up and warm them up, because you got to warm up a diesel before you drive it. Uh, Fumes are terrible, even though they're not that. They're still pretty far away from you. Right now, the wind's blowing the other way, so I'm worried about it.
So we have a new chatter who joined us. It's Giselle Loves NY. So hello, Giselle. Nice to see you.
Hello. I've seen I've seen birds from good environments and ones from terrible environments. I remember the one that Lily Sanctuary had, and it had been left in a cage for 2 years, in a room, in a dark room, and it wouldn't let anybody touch it, but it would come sit by you. They put it in the room with the most people going in and out because it needed the social interaction.
Giselle is just asking. She says, I don't recall what you use the black buckets for. That's for our very special kind of bird we have here, the bucket bird.
Who's
Yeah,
going
both
to be the
cake.
next bucket bird?
It's basically a toy for Cecil and KK. And
If
right
Bob
now,
realizes there's,
Babalu
he
is
realizes,
checking them out.
yeah, if he realizes there's wood in there, he might climb up and try to get it. But as long as he can get wood, he'll be fine. He's got to make his toothpicks, don't you, buddy boy? Yeah, I can't have KK and Cecil out here at the same time if I'm doing a video, and that's because I any moment need to get rid of the phone, and that takes time. And if KK starts to go after one of the pink birds, then I don't have that much time. I got to go right now. So that's where you need to have no fear of being bitten. That doesn't mean you put yourself in a situation where you're going to get bitten unless you have to. But if it's between one bird biting another and you putting your hand in there and that's the only choice, you have to do it. When I was up at Lily Sanctuary, I saw, you want back up there? I didn't pet you enough. Okay. Well, that's the way it goes.
How dare you, Don?
He'll come back. He'll come back. Won't you? He'll come back. Yeah, see, inside, he'd just go to the far side and get away from me, and that would be it. But here he comes right back and lets me pet him. So this is a big change in environment. But yeah, when I was there, I saw there was an Amazon sitting on a chair, and a lady walked in with, she had an Amazon, and she was holding with one hand, and then she had, I believe it was two macaws sitting on her shoulders. And the Amazon in her hand leapt off her hand and went after the other Amazon. So next thing I see human hands, the one of the directors and this person with the two macaws, both diving in there to separate the two birds with no thought of protecting themselves at all. When that was over, I looked at Vanetta and I said, "Can I have some of your volunteers?" She goes, "Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they?" But
So
unfortunately, when her husband died, the whole thing fell apart. She couldn't get anybody to help. So
that's sad.
it happens though that sanctuaries come and go. I mean, it's a
Mm.
lot to doing one of these. It's just. And she had good volunteers. She had somebody to do the books. I don't have that. I don't have anybody volunteers at the moment, but they had somebody to do the books. She had rotations of volunteers coming in, so they could handle up to 50 birds at a time. Now, when I say handle, there were certain policies they had. There were their policies I didn't agree with. One was they clipped all the birds, and I don't think birds should be clipped unless you've got, a flying dragon that's trying to kill everyone. I can't see it, or unless they're going to hurt themselves. I see the clipping, but another headless bird. Um, I know. Well, yeah, it's hard to reach your head. You don't like your beak pecked. Would you quit eating my shoe? Babalu, I didn't say shoe. Babalu, I said shoe.
Boba shoe.
You lost one. You lost the other. Now all you got is the thread. He just wants the bead right now. Oh, the bead and the rope? Okay. That's a typical Lorelei stunt. Just go flying off your shoulder. So Pinky was in that room because someone made the mistake of asking his wife while he was dying in the hospital that, oh, you have to take care of Pinky. She had no idea. She never had any interaction with this male cockatoo at all. So she ended up just leaving it in a dark room and putting food in there. It was an incredible mess when they took it away from her. And as usual, the concept of love got into it. She's like, well, my husband loves the bird, so I have to take care of it. And the woman kept saying that and saying that. And finally, Vanetta looked at her and said, well, he asked you to take care of her. Did he ask you, or take care of him, but did he ask you to kill him? And she
Mm.
threw the relinquishment form down. Once it was signed, she grabbed the bird and ran out the door. And then they sent somebody
Yeah.
down to get the cage the next day. But again, that's where the whole concept of love is the wrong thing. It's not loving kindness to put a bird in a room, leave it in the dark to keep it from screaming, and just throw food at it every day. That's not. And she was doing that out of love for her husband. Yeah, they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Loving kindness would
Mm.
say that that's not the way to take care of the animal, and if you can't do it, then you need to pass it on to someone else. But that never entered into her mind because she was stuck on this concept of, I love my husband and he loved the bird, therefore I have to keep the bird. I mean, that's horse manure, but right? Right. I had to make that decision once before I had all the training I've had now, before I took Dr. Zelig's course, because I could not get Simone to stop attacking every bird in the room. She just she was totally territorial about the whole room. I've got a similar problem with Cause, but I'm working through it, and it helps to be out here, so she'll make some headway again this year. But so I just decided that it was better. I knew someone who could take care of her and would give her the medical and everything she needed and the time out and all that. So that's what I did. I didn't try to kid myself that I could just, I couldn't figure it out. Now I know I could have dealt with it, but then I didn't know. I had only taken, what, 2 courses in ABA. Zelig's was the changer, though. That Animal Training 101 made the difference. You having fun? Rethreading, unthreading it and rethreading it? Is that what you're doing? Yep. You're gonna put it back in now? Yep. That's how he makes his own toys, too. He threads things together like that. He's just playing with those two right now, but he threads them. He makes his own toys. Mander. He's sitting on my hand. It makes it hard for me to pet you because I have him sitting on my hand.
Well, Amanda and Auntie Shug seem to be getting on well.
So, well, yeah, she makes kind of funny glances at him, but she's okay with it, aren't you, girl? Babaloo?
Oh, hello.
He's the most difficult bird I've ever been around to get a good angle on. It's almost like he knows when to turn his head, so you can't snap a picture. So if you do a long video, you catch some. Hi, Bob. You catch some of him, but you having fun, Bob? I guess so. Stretching his wing out. God, you smell like coconuts. He likes to get washed because he doesn't like the look or the smell of what goes on down there, right, big boy? But at least you haven't prolapsed in 12 years. That's insane.
That's
Jenkins can't
pretty
believe it either.
impressive.
Yeah, he's only been stitched up, what, 6 times? And he hasn't been stitched in a couple of years now. Hasn't needed it, so.
That's a good boy, Bob.
Cecil, why do you look like the old Cecil I used to know? Hmm? Yeah, it will get warmer and we won't be able to be out here and they won't like that unless I reverse it, and I don't know if I can do that. If I could take them out and then bring them in and feed them, but I don't think they'll eat like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's if I got them out at 8 o'clock and brought them out here until it got warm. Right, Bob? Bobadoo? They think behavior is static until you bring them out into an area like this and you see they just really behave differently.
Hi, loose goose. She is certainly watching the mountains.
Yeah, oh, she loves to just sit here and look around. She loves that.
Mm. Well, you have a great panorama.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the middle, surrounded by mountains on all sides here.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as it may look rural, this is actually considered to be in town. So
You just have to keep away from your neighbor. I mean, from the distance, as you told me that you cannot buy smaller pieces of land than, I don't know, what was it, 1 acre?
1 acre, yeah, and you're not allowed to subdivide them. So you buy an acre, that's it. If you buy 2 acres, you could split it, but you can't put 1 acre. And
Because
even
what
if
they
you're
do
gonna,
here in Germany, they build now houses because of space issues so close that you basically can touch from your house just by reaching with your finger out the house of the neighbor. And then the people complain about, oh, I get everything what they do, and it's so annoying. And
well, it's even worse here. They have houses that uh, they're actually connected. They share a wall.
Well, that's we always had that, but now it's
Oh.
like when they build freestanding houses, but super close to each other, which doesn't make much sense.
For here, they turn apartments into housing, and they call it condominiums, which is perfect because they're condo. In other words, they're stealing money from you. They're conning dough from you. It's basically just an apartment that's been turned into a so-called home.
But it definitely has advantages when you have a lot of space around you before the space of your neighbor starts.
Yeah, I was when the realtor said, "Well, it's going to be in town." oh my God, I can't take being, close to people because of how loud they are. And, well, actually, you know, in town means something different here than it does in other places. Well, part of it's because it's the desert. There's only so much resources. I mean, only so much water, only there's water underground. We have good aquifer, but because the mountains get snow and then it all drains into the aquifer. But
So we have a new chatter here, Luana Hallgood saying hi, Burbs. So hi, Luana, good to see you here. And then
hello.
Giselle told us that she faces the opposite problem than you do. For you, the temperature's dropped now enough you can go outside, and she says the temperature's dropped now so much that she may not can go outside with her bird Caesar.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Well, we get cold here too. I was talking to someone who's lived here for quite some time, and they were saying that we were talking about the heat. She goes, yeah. But, hey, stop it! Quit trying to torture him. You want to come down here with me? Come here. Well, come here. Well, no. Cecil, don't torture the other birds. Come on. You can't hurt him with that, but he's a chicken. He really isn't a cockatoo. He's a big chicken.
Big pink chicken.
He's hanging upside down because Cecil's got that little piece of rope. I mean, come on.
Hmm.
But that's normal Cecil behavior. But she was saying, yeah, well, we didn't bring any warm clothes. What's the desert? It's cold and hot. It can be cold at night, and it doesn't get that cold. I mean, it can get down to freezing, maybe a degree or two below it at times. If you're actually over in the Death Valley, it can get you know, way below that. But here we're not talking about much colder than that. But these guys, 45 degrees is about as low you want to take them. I've heard of people taking their birds out into colder weather than that, but that's Russian roulette because you're dealing with the way they breathe. So if the air is too cold, they may not be able to breathe. So 45 is about as low. For me, 45 is like being up with the Eskimos. So my hands it won't be just white. They'll be, there won't be any blood in them at all. So I have to come out here with my little heaters, which, if you know what these little electric heaters are, they're just large lithium ion batteries. They get hot. That's all they are. There's no other mechanism. There's just something to control the lithium ion batteries to make them, just discharge into themselves to get hot. So kind of a spooky way to heat your hands, but there's no other way out here. What are you doing? Now he's been kind of withdrawn and introverted and he was losing weight, which he usually does at this time of the year. I found out, but looking back at his records, but now that he's getting active, he's gaining weight. So it's easy to see what I mean by getting active.
Okay, Cecil is having it.
That's what we call a normal Cecil there, Cecil Jekyll. He's got a little piece of strength. Oh my God, he's got a spit wad. Oh no. Cecil, no. You're running away from him, you big toad. What do you expect? Cecil, no. Cecil, no. Leave him alone. Cecil, come here. No, all right, that's okay. Mander.
You
Now,
have to
see,
stand your ground, Manda.
that's what makes him do that. Stop it, Cecil. Stop. No. Be nice. Cecil.
Now the chat is giving it to me. We have 3 acres, 5 acres, 27 or 37 acres. And I just Googled, so I'm now pretty certain. Yeah, I told like when you talk about an acre, so what they sell for places here now is 0.1 acre. And that's big.
Really?
So okay. You call yourself lucky when you get 0.1 acre. But
Well,
okay,
imagine if you lived in Hong Kong, that would be even smaller.
that's the thing. Or that sometimes when you're in these really old towns in Europe from medieval also, sometimes their houses they are basically 3 meters or so
Yeah.
the square just squeezed in between 2 other houses.
Bob's doing the bucket thing.
Oh, we have a
Exciting, Bob.
question about the big ropes you have there, the large big ropes.
Hey.
Don,
Uh-huh.
where can one find these?
Hey.
He's busy.
Stop it. Cecil. Why can't I think of the name of the company? It's a rope supply. Um, hmm, don't know why. Usually I have the name of that place on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it now. I'll think of it. But yeah, that's all they do is supply rope, and that's just Manila rope. Um, it's been coated with an oil, but the oil is off of a plant, and it's safe for parrots. I talked to one of the sales reps, and I confirmed it. So this is, although when you first get it, Manila rope has a strong odor to it. So we used to have that big one hanging on the ceiling. It took about 2 months for the odor to dissipate. But it's good because they can chew on it. It's hard for them to chew all the way through. They can, if they really want to focus on it and do that. And it comes in a huge variety of sizes. So inch and a quarter is probably about the right size, but inch and a half works too. There's an inch and a quarter and then the inch and a half running across there. And they'll sell it in any, I want to say it's not in rope supply, but I know that's not right. See if I can look it up. If the phone will turn, Bob, oh, it will, but not that way. Oh, Diesel, what are you doing? Uh, Bob? Oh, Cecil? Sorry, I'm calling you Bob. Why am I doing that? I know who you are. Okay. Oh, just a second. You don't make this easy. That's what it is. Not in rope supply. That's the name of the company. Not and rope supply. They are. Stop it, Cecil! Cut it out, you big monster. They're in Ohio. Well, nowhere on here does it have their web address, because obviously you can just hit the button, it'll take you to their web. I'm not going to do that in the middle of a. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can get. Stop it! He's whacking me in the head with this thing while I'm trying to look. Yeah. Hey! Hey, stop it, Cecil. It's not on rope.com. It's that easy. You just want the regular manila rope. Hey, that tickles my nose. This is what he was doing to me. Oh, I was trying to look that up. Bob, don't encourage him. No, no.
Oh no, we have a birdie fight.
Bob, you know better than this. You leave that alone.
He
Good
wants
luck,
to
Whitney.
protect his daddy Don. Gets in trouble for it. Poor Bob. Cecil, your little instigator?
Not sure about the little part, but he is an instigator. Thank you, Bob. I know what you're doing. You're a good boy, but the thing is, they like each other and they get along most of the time. But when he's Cecil Jekyll, it's a little more difficult.
Oh, good boys they
Yeah.
are.
You'll see a totally different set of behaviors if you have an aviary. This is an A&E aviary, and they make them to any length you want. They're 8 feet across. This one is a little over 10 feet long, and it's 6.5 feet tall. So they'll extend it as long as you want it. If you want an aviary that runs for an acre, you could get it because they just sell them these sections, the two main sections of it. You can just buy those and keep extending it. So, but then you really need to have them on a concrete pad, or you've got to buy the base. I wouldn't recommend buying the base. The base costs more than the whole unit. Just put it on a concrete slab and make sure it's out of the weather. If you're gonna have it outside, all right, Mander, hold on, just a
What's
second.
with the
Thank you.
Mander?
Yes, I
What's
have
he
Mander
doing?
face.
He's making the upside down bird.
No.
Yes, this is his way of saying pet me. Just hang down and whack me on the
Amanda,
head.
you are quite sporty when one remembers from time to time that he
This little
actually has
bird.
a twisted pelvis.
Oh, but
Yeah.
he's so sweet. Look at him. He's so affectionate. We
Mm.
love that Manda.
He's a good Mander, aren't you, Mander? Yeah. So they don't recommend putting these outside, but the reason they don't recommend it is because you really do need a concrete slab, and if they're going to be exposed to the weather, you don't have them in a place where, which I recommend you have an awning over them. But if you don't have that, then you need to at least have one of these large umbrellas, which is what we had in when we were in Fallbrook, and then you have to cover it with a big canvas when cover it when you're not using it. So if you do
So
that and
I
up
think
off the ground.
she's building this up in Texas, so I'm not sure if my sense for that is wrong, but it sounds for me they have equal less rain than you do.
Yeah, yeah, parts of Texas. It depends on what part you're in. They do have more humidity though than I think than we do here. It depends.
Mhm.
Again, there's different parts of Texas, so but we don't actually have humidity. I think today when I looked, it was 8%. But it gets down to 1%, your nose starts bleeding if you haven't lived here for a while. So Some people will bleed at 10%. So start to get that nasal sound to your voice.
Mm.
I think
It's
maybe
good to
from
have,
the UK, I get it at about 40%.
Mm.
yeah. Well, that's probably about average for most areas. Deserts are, sometimes there's just no humidity.
We have just at the moment 57% humidity. And it doesn't feel high, so that's actually pretty comfortable at the moment.
Mm.
You having fun chewing that up there, big girl? Jasmine. She just wants to tear the tarps up.
Yeah, that's a different behavior. Usually she is asleep, but now that we're outside, she is tearing the place up.
She says, if I can't get somebody to preen me, I'll just tear the place up. Right, Bob? Right, Bob? Yeah, he's on good behavior out here. Except when he goes after the Cecil Jekyll or Cecil Hyde. Cecil Hyde, you don't want to mess around with. Right, Cecil?
So Giselle asks if you remember the name of the aviary.
Well, it's made by A&E, and you just have to look up aviary. Or you can call A&E, and they'll give you all the skinny. If you're trying to buy one, um, there are some resellers that sell them cheaper than the company does. That's where I bought this one through. Hmm,
I think I found
that's
a
been a,
link to the one that looks like it. I'll post it in the chat.
I mean, you can find it just by searching on the web. You can just look up A&E aviary and then just find the largest one. Now, when I say the largest one, this is the largest one you can buy direct from like a reseller. If you want to buy from them, they'll sell it to you however large you want it. So,
Yeah, the one I found is 62 inch by 62 inch by 79 inch. I don't know if that's what yours is, but isn't yours modular? You can just extend it by adding in extra bits.
all of theirs are modular from A&E. They're all modular. But they show different models, but that are different sizes. But as far as the length can be as long as you want it.
Cage weight 366 pounds. That's a
Yeah,
big
I
cage.
remember when I said we had an aviary. Like, well, you'll have to secure it. The wind will blow it away. I said, why? Do you get 500-mile-an-hour winds or what? It's all steel. This thing is heavy. I mean, I put this together myself. Let me tell you, it's heavy. I had to use pulleys and all kinds of stuff to get this thing together, but I was determined to get it done. So I don't recommend doing it by yourself. But at the time, that was the only option I had. So, oh, some kind of a package. Oh, I know what that is. I probably should go get it before. Well, it's not that hot out there. It's some of my medicine from the VA. That was a nice thing. They were trying to make it so I had to go down and get a physical, or they weren't saying it, but it was obvious that was the reason they weren't sending me my medicine. And when I called up to complain about it, the next thing I know, there it is. They just delivered it. So,
Oh, that's good of them.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have to complain to get it. They said, well,
No, that's true.
well, they said, it could have changed. You may need a different, different, you concentration of medicine. I'm like, it hasn't changed in 5 years. I think you've got a pretty good shot in just sending it to me. It's only a 30-day supply anyway, or 90-day supply. So they keep it at 90 days because I guess they're hoping you'll die. They don't have to send you any more.
Mhm.
You didn't want well, you wanted the elevator, but I'm not going to keep it up there forever. You know that. Make up your mind. We didn't do too much talking about environment today, but you can see just by looking at how they are in here, they get along really well inside here. Well, there's Lorelei flying again. Hey, Lorelei. And when they're stuck in the socialization room, they do a lot more sleeping. They're not too sleepy today.
Nope. Especially the
Jazz
jazz bird is pretty lively.
yeah, and Lucy's wide
Everybody is
awake.
excited.
She likes to look out. She's like to look at everything. She hasn't gone to sleep the
Mm.
whole time she's been out here.
Snowball is such a good boy. He's sitting back there in the corner and up, just looking out as
Yeah,
well.
he likes to look out. Yeah, he likes to look at the environment. He plucked a couple of feathers yesterday though,
Oh
and
no.
Hmm.
yeah, and he's already. I mean, I don't want to raise the dose. I've got him on, but I have.
Hmm.
You to close your eyes now. First bird to close their eyes out here. Nope, now he's gonna go to breeding. Okay,
Oh, before we go, how is Cecil's weight doing?
going up. It's actually a little higher
Good.
than it was last year at this time. So hard to believe that he dives down almost 100 grams every year at this time, but he has consistently
That's a
done that.
lot for a small birdie.
Well, now he's busy and exercising, so he's eating more, so that makes a difference. He ate some he ate some of Bob's artichoke yesterday, so the artichoke doesn't have much to gain weight, but they like mayonnaise. I make my own mayonnaise. It takes 10 minutes. Whoopee. They charge in the stores here. They'll charge for a little container of it $5, and I bought everything it would take to make mayonnaise for a year for 10. So yeah. Well, remember everybody, we do have merchandise, and you can see that on our link tree. And Amy's made some wonderful merchandise, cups, shirts,
Woolcocks,
greeting cards,
boxer
greeting cards, all
shorts,
kinds of. Hmm?
boxer shorts.
Bubbly boxer shorts.
Babalu boxer shorts. Yeah, we have Babalu boxer shorts. What do you think, Bob? And what are you doing over there, kid? And thanks for being here. And thanks for everybody who supports us. And thank you, Amy and Eleanor, for being my eyes and ears and keeping the chat going. And we will see everybody next week.
And thank you, Don, for the stream.
I think Sal had something to do with that.